Hey, Joe.
Hey, Peter.
Joe, did you see that new Doom Eternal, thing that came out the other day?
Yeah, the
it's kind of
Ancient
crappy.
Gods. It's bad. It was pretty good. I really liked it. I already played through it. I beat it in the hardest difficulty in one try. I've actually gotten pretty good at the game.
Joe, do you really think Doom Eternal's that good?
Well, yeah, it's phenomenal. It's one of my favorite first-person shooters of all time, really, let alone this year.
I mean, Joe, if you think about it, Doom 2016, it's practically the same game, Joe. There's not much of a difference between the games. Just I guess a cooler
Well,
shotgun.
that's just kind of Doom. Like, there isn't as much of big of a difference as other games, but that's a good thing, because if you really changed it that much, it just wouldn't be Doom anymore. But the thing about Eternal is that it adds on to the previous elements of Doom 2016, which just makes it automatically better, really.
I mean, Joe, Doom Eternal it's all right. I'm not saying it's a bad game, Joe, but compared to 2016, it's not that much of a step up. Like, I feel like they could have done way better. I mean, like the Marauders.
No.
Joe, the Marauders. Joe.
I thought the Marauders were pretty fun, honestly. I thought they were a really fun obstacle and enemy to fight.
Joe, I played Doom Eternal, and the second I saw the Marauder, I got excited. The second I killed the Marauder, I hated the game.
Why? The Marauders are one of the most fun enemies to fight in all of
Doom Eternal, it's a fast-paced game. Then this one enemy shows up and it just ruins it, Joe. It's just not fun.
It makes it even more fast-paced. Makes it have more of a challenge. You gotta wait for the eyes to glow.
Joe, Doom 2016 had way more memorable moments. Maybe the final boss of Eternal was alright. Doom 2016 also had a phenomenal final boss. It was brilliant, Joe. And Joe, you have to remember that time.
I don't remember the final boss.
It was the Arachnotron, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
I haven't played Doom 2016 since 2016 because Doom Eternal's just so much better.
Joe, remember that time we played FNAF mode on Doom Eternal?
That was 2016. That was Snap Map. Doom Eternal doesn't have Snap Map. Peter.
Exactly. Doom Eternal lacks some of the best parts of Doom 2016, Joe.
Peter, Snap Map sucked. There were no good levels.
Joe, we had a blast.
It was a waste of storage. It was a waste of storage. We played a custom Five Nights at Freddy's map in 2018 that sucked because it was so buggy and the monsters would just come in and kill you anyways, no matter what you did.
Joe, the multiplayer for Doom Eternal sucks, Joe. It's somehow worse than 2016, Joe.
Doom 2016 was just a stupid Quake ripoff, alright? Doom Eternals is actually unique in its own right. If you want Doom Eternal multiplayer, just go play Quake Champions.
But Joe, come on. Doom Eternal, the multiplayer feels so unfinished. I don't even really know what the multiplayer is. I didn't even try it out because it's barely even it feels incomplete. It feels incomplete, really Joe.
Good. You've never even played it.
Yeah, I have, Joe. I played it once, and it just felt weird, and I had to leave because it just felt awful.
I find it to be very fun and unique. It's like nothing I've ever played.
Joe, come on. There are so many games that I wish I'd rather played, multiplayer-wise, than play Doom Eternal multiplayer.
Come on,
it was
man.
Awful, Joe. It was a waste of time, Joe.
Well, you want to know what's even more of a waste of time? The Doom 2016 multiplayer, which is just a Quake ripoff. That's more of a waste of time. Why don't you just go play Quake?
Joe, we had more of a blast on Doom 2016 multiplayer than we did on Eternal. Because we haven't even played Eternal together because it sucks.
But Snap Map sucks. We just played it for ironic.
Joe, I thought it was pretty fun.
Well, no, it was all...
Joe. Okay.
Look, the multiplayer isn't the focus here. Doom series is all about the single player.
You might be right there, Joe. You might be right. The single player of Doom 2016 was really good, and I'm telling you, Joe, Doom
You're right.
Eternal, Doom Eternal, the only thing it had going for it was just the maps were a little bit cooler. Other than that, it really wasn't all that much better. It
Had
was just
cooler guns, cooler movement mechanics, cooler
mean,
enemies.
Joe.
It had everything. You can dash, you can wall climb, you can
Joe.
do freaking old time 90s games B-hops. It's insane the stuff you can do in Doom
The
Eternal.
wall
It's
climbing
great.
in Doom Eternal was just stupid, Joe. I mean, it was just.
What about the pole swinging? That was cool.
I don't even remember that, Joe. What's the
You
pole
swing
swinging?
from the poles. You do that constantly throughout the whole game.
Oh yes, I remember now, Joe. You mean like the little? Yeah. No, I
It
mean,
was sick.
all it felt like was Doom Eternal was just a DLC update for Doom 2016. It didn't feel like a whole
That
new
would have
game.
been the best gosh darn DLC update ever graced by the humanity of man.
I will admit, Joe, it would have been a good DLC, but I really don't think that it's deserved a whole new title. I mean, it was. It really wasn't all that much.
Literally, it was twice as long as Doom 2016. It was like 30 hours long.
Yeah, it could have just been like a new campaign update. I don't know, Joe.
30 hours long, released 4 years after the original, huh?
No, I don't think. Well, yeah,
That they
I mean,
put
Joe,
millions of dollars into.
it just.
With entire new graphics and mechanics.
There are some games, Joe, that you play that you're like, wow, this is new. This blew my socks off. But you play Doom Eternal, and it's just like, oh, yeah, I've played
will
this
agree.
before.
I will agree with that, because Doom 2016 was an entire revival of the Doom series. It hadn't gotten a new game
Doom
in
Eternal
what?
felt like the biggest breath of fresh air on
You
that
mean
series.
2016?
Is that not what I said, Joe?
You said Eternal.
Doom 2016, when it came out, it just was like a
I will
breath of fresh air on the
definitely say that Doom
Doom
2016
series.
had a bigger lasting impact than Eternal, because it brought back the whole Doom series. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about the overall better game. And the better game is Eternal, because it takes
I will agree that Eternal is an upgrade, Joe.
Exactly.
It's
it
not-
takes what Doom 2016 had, and it
it's
just
really-
made it better.
It's really not anything to blow your socks off about or write home about. It's just another Doom. You know,
Just another Doom.
It's just not really that. Nothing really made me want to just.
Well, it's not even over yet, because we're still getting Ancient Gods Part 2, which Part 1
And
was
I feel like
phenomenal,
those are
by
just
the way.
money grabs, Joe. I feel like they're
Money
just trying to suck
grabs.
as much content out of the game as possible, just to rob
I
us.
will agree that if they do make a Year 2 pass that has separate DLC, that has an entire separate purchase from the Year 1 pass, that will be stupid. But I will be buying it anyways, because I am craving more Doom Eternal.
I feel like the way they handled 2016 was really good, and it just feels like Doom Eternal, they just tried to make a good campaign, add a new weapon, and then stop making DLCs just to milk the game, Joe.
Well, the thing is, for 2016, they had like a 10-hour campaign, and they did barely anything at post-launch. You came out, you beat it, you never played it again. But for Doom Eternal, it has post-launch stuff constantly.
Joe, I know some people who have beat Doom Eternal. Or not Doom Eternal, Doom 2016 many times. They
I've beat it
replayed it because they
twice.
loved it. I
It is a
played
good game
Doom
to
Eternal
replay.
once, and I never felt like I wanted to play it again. It just felt like I just run and left click the whole time, and then a
Wasn't
Marauder
that
showed
just
up
Doom?
for Doom 2016. It felt amazing when you would run it. Like, it just felt like the story. It just felt really like it was an average story.
Have you played the new Ancient Gods campaign? Part
No,
1?
Joe. DLC for Doom just doesn't seem that interesting, Joe. It's just Doom. It's just more Doom.
Which is exactly what we need. Doom
I feel like-
Eternal,
No, Joe.
even though
No,
it was
Joe.
the perfect amount of length, left me wanting
Joe,
more
they're
at
gonna
the
burn
end.
the series out, Joe. It's gonna get burnt out, Joe.
Yeah, I do agree that if they do make a third sequel to Doom 2016, it should be a bit different. But I think
Joe,
for
they
Doom
should have just
Eternal, they
made
did
Doom
it perfect.
Eternal. They should have made Doom Eternal, left it the way it is, wait a couple years, and release a whole new shebang. Okay,
Yeah.
Doom Eternal wasn't that bad, but Doom 2016, it put a lot on your plate to eat.
Well, Doom Eternal
Eternal,
put twice as much on your plate to eat. It was
just
30
adds
hours long.
It just adds a little more, Joe. It's not anything
It
too
adds
impressive.
twice as more. And DLC, so technically 4 times as
Yeah,
more.
Joe, the game is twice as long because it's twice as much boring missions.
Never was I ever bored playing Doom Eternal. Don't
There were
get me
so
wrong,
many
I
missions,
was
Joe, that I
never bored.
played where it felt like rinse and repeat for 30 hours, Joe. It was just,
Never had
this
that in my
mission
whole
again.
playthrough. Listen,
It
Doom
just
2016 is a fantastic game, but I'm gonna be honest, I wanted Doom 2016 to end more than I did for Doom Eternal.
Joe, I remember playing Doom 2016. I get excited to play it. Doom Eternal, I got excited on the first mission where you saw the cool dude laying on the ground, the big giant walking with the city on his back or whatever. And after that, it just got boring.
Listen,
Boring.
what incentive is there to complete all the collectibles for Doom 2016?
What?
All the collectibles, all the little knickknacks that you get.
Yeah? What about it?
Yeah, why should you get them in Doom 2016?
Because they're cool little collectibles to get. You
Yeah,
can
but
look
what
at
do they
'em.
do to help you?
I don't remember, Joe.
Exactly. In Doom Eternal, you get all these collectibles, you can get all the cheat codes, you can fully play Doom 1 and 2
It's
in the
just-
game.
It just... With Doom Eternal, they sprinkled a little more salt and pepper on it.
Yeah,
That's
you can
about
play
it.
the entirety of the original Doom in 1 and 2. If you get all the cheat codes, you can get Doom 2. If you get
Joe,
all
that's
the little
pointless,
Slayer
Joe.
gates, it's fun. It controls well and it
You
looks
can
great.
just play the original Dooms on their own, Joe. You don't need to play them on...
But you can just walk out, you can just do a mission, come back to the Slayer's place, and play some original Doom. Plus, if you got all the Slayer Gate stuff, you unlocked a sick new gun, the Unmaker.
I mean, Joe, you might be right. I mean, the game's just a little bit better, but it's... People, it was way overkill,
Let me
Joe.
guess, it didn't have the same amount of magic as the original Doom 2016.
Joe, it was just...
I think I've won this argument, Peter.
I mean, I don't know, Joe. It's really not that anything to blow you away. It just felt like a pretty boring game.
Well, we'll see for the next DLC, The Ancient Gods Part 2.
I will never enjoy another Doom game until they make a new game that
And what else can Doom do?
revolutionizes.
Are they gonna make a freaking spiritual successor to Doom 3, the crappy horror game?
Joe, think about it. A Doom horror game made in 2021 or 2022 even
Doom
would
3
probably be
sucked, though.
really good, Joe. Think
Doom
about
3
it, Joe.
sucked. It just slowed down the pace of the game and
Could
felt
you
awful.
imagine if they made a Doom horror game based off of Doom 3 but actually made it good, Joe? Just think about the possibilities.
It'd suck! I just want to
No,
run
Joe.
around and shoot freaking demons! I don't want to actually freaking...
Joe, it might be fun to you to shoot, to just run and hold W and spam left click, but maybe add in a slower paced Doom game that's not as slow as fighting a Marauder, but maybe a little bit slower than the actual gameplay, and maybe a little bit of horror. And modern day graphics and stuff. It might be a good Doom game, Joe. You never know.
The end.
Joe, why